Hi, you're probably wondering why I'm here. I'm here to celebrate a milestone. I recently turned 65 a couple of months ago, so now I'm officially a Golden-ager. A Golden-ager is someone who's between 65 and above. It's also the time where you're eligible to get Medicare and get more discount at stores, or even when you go to your bank or maybe credit union, you're going to ask if there's a discount for being 65. Sometimes you can get a checking account at either of these two places for free. Normally, you have to pay a monthly fee, but check it out. See if you can get a free checking account. And 65 for me, it's no different today because I'm still myself. And I want to take you along with me through this journey to see what it's like. And I just wanted to ask, for those who are 65 already, what was it like for you? To me, I'm not in shock because I knew I was hoping that I would turn 65 someday, because being older is special because some people don't make it. And I want to be grateful for that. But I also wanted to say that celebrate being 65 or above. You're a Golden-ager, so you can celebrate between 65 and older, but just celebrate it because, like I said, a lot of people don't make it. What I want you to do is just embrace a positive, proactive mindset where it values experience and self-acceptance, and you'll find you have your purpose in life. You might not know right away, but you will. And to me, I have a purpose. I want to enjoy life. I want to help others. I want to be creative. I've had a lot of hobbies in the past, such as knitting, crocheting, painting, card making, painting, and all that stuff. But by doing those hobbies in the past, well, I found out that what I liked and didn't like. So for me being a Golden-ager, I'm going to find out what it is that I like and don't like about doing the things at this stage of my life. But most of all, I want to be healthy, so I'm kind of eating a little better. I'm doing exercise. I'm doing a lot of stretching. So you want to do a lot of stretching as far as the arm goes, because it's important to keep yourself limber with your shoulder. And some of the exercise that's important to know when you get to be a Golden-ager is that if you can sit down on a chair and maybe hold your arms like this and get up without using your arm, because it's important to keep your leg strength up, because it carries your weight, plus helps you balance. Because if you fall and you can't get up, that's a bad sign. Also, you want to go out and go outdoor, enjoy nature, because nature kind of makes you relax. It doesn't make you have anxiety about being in a small space. So just go out and enjoy nature. And I think that some of the stuff that you probably need to think about is make some changes. I'll talk about that later on, but changes is very important because whatever you've been doing in the past and you're not happy with it, make some changes, or changes will make you. I'd rather make the changes and not have something dictate what I want to do. And I think that you have to, at this stage, you have to be able to reflect on all the achievement you want. A lot of people say, well, there's a bucket list. And I think a bucket list encompasses your career and your life. So I've done a lot of stuff. And when in 2003, I moved to a place I never lived before. But let me backtrack. I grew up in Anchorage, Alaska, and I lived there for 30 years. And then I met my husband. Sorry, my nose is itchy. And so I met my husband, and he lived in Hawaii, so he wanted to go home. And basically, I moved to Hawaii and didn't know anyone. But what I did was I started a small recruiting business because that's what I've been doing since 1995. And basically, I just pretend I work for my boss. I still did the same thing. I was successful when I worked for her, and I just pretend that I was still working her, doing the same thing that I did. Of course, I wouldn't recommend starting a business unless you have the experience. The recruiting business is really challenging. So when I went to Hawaii, I got the first client. Of course, I was on an island of Oahu, which is where Honolulu is. My first client was ABC Store. And the funny story about that is when I was interviewing a candidate, she was an accounting person, because ABC Store was of course, wanted someone with fixed asset. I met with the candidate, and she just moved to Island herself, so I drove her to the interview. And then when I left in 2009, she was still there. I left the island because we had an economic downturn in 2008. So when everyone's laying people off, it's hard to make a living when you're recruiting. So I left and moved, but it was something that I was pretty proud of. Of course, I didn't do it. I didn't just decide to do it. Of course, my husband was a main cheerleader. He knew I could do it. But sometimes if you are in that situation where you know you're good and you're successful, unless you have something that drives you to do that, you're not going to do it sometime. But anyway, my husband thought I could do it, and I did it. It was hard because it's hard to do business when you're not from the island. And one of my things was when I called these companies to explain that I've been recruiting since 1995, and the reason why I moved to Hawaii is because my husband wanted to move back home, and I was able to talk story with them. They call it talk story because they want to get to know you before they do business with you. But for me, that refers back to my bucket list where I've been there, done that, and now I'm at an age where I'm 65, and I have more goals and dreams that I want to achieve. And one of the things is always learn. You want to be able to keep learning because it's good for the brain, and it's good to do something hard just because being on video is hard enough. And now, granted, I've done commercials before, but it was in Anchorage, and I had a small part in it. I was on a commercial for dry cleaning because I went there a lot, and they wanted me to be a customer, testimony, and because I wore suits at the time, the jacket and the skirt, and they wanted me to do a commercial, and then I said, yeah, I love fireweed cleaning and all that stuff, and I said, well, that's where I look my best because they do the best job, and but it was hard because even though it was a short skit, I had to take a lot of takes because it's hard. But but the thing is, you have to try new things, keep learning, just because it's good for you. It's good for you. And once you learn the skill that you're afraid of learning, then it's something that you'd be proud of. You can share with yourself and say, "Wow, I did it." But being 65, that's what I'm doing. I want to learn new stuff, and to me, I have basic skills, but this is something new, and I want to take you with me to see what it's like being a Golden-ager. A Golden-ager, you should be proud to be a Golden-ager. I think a Golden-ager is, well, to me it sounds golden, but I think being a Golden-ager is a place where you can actually reimagine yourself or reinvent yourself. You're not the same person you were before you became a golden ager. Okay, you are thinking that, oh my gosh, I have a clean slate, and when I forgot if I told you I did painting. I did painting. So basically, for me, it's like when you're a golden ager, it's like painting, right? You have a clean canvas, and it's up to you of what you want to paint or see yourself. And it's something that once you get it done, you say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. To always keep dreaming. You're never too old to keep dreaming. You're never too old to do anything that you have your mindset on. I just think that this is a time to enjoy life, and life is so abundant. It's just that, whatever happens, please not take it personally, because it's just something that maybe is someone's having a bad day, but it's not against you or anything. It's just that is. But being a golden ager is a time to celebrate. So I want you to see what it's like. Now, for those who haven't been 65 or just turned 65, or maybe you're 75, I'm sure that your experience might be different. It might be, it might be better, it might be worse. I'm not sure. But for me, I just wanted to take you and 4 million people with me to see what it's like to be a golden ager. 65 is still young, I think. And I always told my husband, well, let's do this because we're still young. He's 75 and I'm 65. So if you have that mindset, if you're still young, it's in your mind that you're still young. And if you, like, for example, my parents, when they were in their 60s, they acted old. And you don't have to act old. You can act as young as you want. And that's what they say when you are still having fun. You're still young at heart. And some of the things that keeps you young is do something similar that you enjoy. Like I do karaoke. I went out and bought myself a karaoke machine, and I sing. And sometimes I do dance, but not in front of people, but I do dance because it does, move your body. Because I did like dancing when the disco days were around, and that was really fun. But I think being a golden ager to me is it's a big milestone, and I wanted to celebrate. And to me, I'll be documenting all the fun stuff you can do at 65. And I know that some of the stuff will come up and it'll be a challenge, but you have to figure out a way to overcome the challenge and navigate the daily life of what is, to keep you going. And sometimes it's just like any stage in your life, you can have some joy and you can have some challenges and you're going to have some good time, you're going to have some sad time. But here I'm 65, I made through all those. And I wanted to thank you for just celebrating my milestone. Well, until next time, join me and we'll go through this process together. And thank you for stopping by. Until next time, have a great day.